Welcome to SAS Daily Podcast. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. I want to thank you guys for subscribing, and I want to thank everybody for praying for Tracy. And Tracy is doing better. He's at his house right now, and he's still recovering from shoulder surgery. So definitely keep him in your prayers. And he probably will be back tomorrow night, hopefully, God willing. And yeah, definitely keep him in your prayers. And we can't wait to have you back on, brother. And the special co-host tonight is, and he's actually going to perform a song for us. He's our interview from last night. Tony Slone, how are you doing tonight, man?
Doing good, Seth. Good seeing you again.
Absolutely, man. And Earl Mullins. My bad, I messed up on the name. Guess where it says Jeffrey right there. But yeah, Earl Mullins, the most famous Eastern Kentucky Bigfoot hunter in Eastern Kentucky. Earl Mullins, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing okay.
And yeah, man, I love that commercial that you did with Tim Shorts. That was amazing.
That was funny. That was fun.
Yeah. And Tony, you actually have a song that you're gonna play for us. And what's the name of the song? And
I'm going to do a song called Life on the Run. It's a kind of a bluegrassy country song, I guess. Oh, Lordy, won't you help me? Please tell me what I've done wrong. Oh, Satan, don't you tempt me. Whiskey bottle with the neck too long. I'm paying for the thing, Lord, I wish I never would have done. Early grave or a prison cell, no more life on the run. I got me a pistol, a box of bullet and a brand new plan. Get out of my way, boy. If you don't, well, you'll be damned. I'm paying for the things I should have never had done. Early grave or a prison cell, no more life on the run. Bouquet, dozen roses, a bunch of chocolates, boy, that girl. If she takes me back, swear to God I'm gonna rock her world. Still paying for those things should have never had done. Early grave or a prison cell, no more life on the run.
man, you absolutely killed it. Thanks for playing for us, man.
Thank you, Seth.
And what do you
Excellent.
think of that, Earl?
Excellent.
Thank you, Earl. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And Earl, tell us about the previous Bigfoot. The Bigfoot has been seen here lately. My bad, I was looking for the words. Tell me about the previous Bigfoot sightings around this area.
Well, the one would be like that the girl seen up there at Lit Car. You know, she said it crossed up there close to the campground up there past that little waterfall.
Oh,
That
what day was that? Was that in June something or July or?
That was actually probably getting close to a year ago that happened. Yeah. I'm thinking somewhere through there because it was a while. It was actually late fall, early winter last year when I finally got up there to look around a little bit because she had told me about it. And just like the way I work, it's hard for me to get away. So I went up there and looked. And it was and went up there and checked it out. Didn't find anything, but I'm sure it's there. Too many other sightings, I had the one guy that was up there night fishing, and he had rocks thrown at him. So
Oh, where was that at?
that was at Blick Car there too, where they put in at the boat
Boat
ramp
dock.
up there.
Yeah, the
On
boat
the,
dock. I know where you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
across from where the picnic shelter and stuff is there at Lit Car. And then the campground, I'm sure he was riding around that bridge in there somewhere fishing. That's where he was at.
Yeah, that's definitely
But
kind of
he was,
creepy because I've kayaked there before.
yeah, he was not fishing, and something started tossing stones and stuff at him, and so he left. uh, that's no doubt that's what that was. So
Yeah.
because if you get close to where they don't want you, they let you know.
Yeah, we definitely know that here, and stories of sightings and stuff, and obviously the most I've talked about the Patterson's video with you probably 1,000 times, but man, that video is definitely impressive, and I believe authentic as well, like you believe. And Tony, have you ever seen the Patterson footage?
Is that the older footage where it's like it shows him like kind of look to the side and keeps going?
Yeah, Patty,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
girl with it actually shows the muscles and the breast and everything in it.
Yeah, I have seen that one before. Yeah, it's pretty convincing to me. I mean, you know, I don't think it's. I think there's definitely something. I mean, there was an ape that was called Australopithecus, I believe, and it was like supposedly over 7 feet tall. And but I don't think that's what it is. I think it's probably a different branch off the species altogether. Probably. I mean, Earl, what's your thoughts on like? Is it comparative to human to ape?
To me, they're more human.
Do you think there might be related more like to the Neanderthal species of Homo sapiens, or?
Yeah, I just think that they're more human, a lot more human than they would be animal. I think I think they're intelligent. If you start researching and looking into things back in colonial times, way before that, even when before this country was even settled, they evidently they kind of intermingled it. What I've seen, read about with Indians, and just like the first settlers came and had Thanksgiving with the Indians and stuff similar to that. I'd actually read a story about that, and then some kind of accident happened, and a Sasquatch accidentally killed an Indian, and then that kind of just went away. It stopped. I can't remember what it was I watched, but I seen it, and that was just really interesting to me.
That is really interesting. You mentioned that, Earl, because I've read before like there was like giants, the Indians that had like red-headed giants or something, and like they found the bones and stuff of this, but the Smithsonian they always keep disappearing.
Yeah, well, if you giant race of people, well, you remember, I'm sure if you the Bible, David and Goliath.
Yes.
Goliath, okay. I'm not for sure, but I don't know what, maybe perhaps he was Nephilim. I don't know if that's so, but the Nephilim was the giant race of people that came basically from when God cast Satan and his angels out of heaven. Then them angels mated with females here on earth, and that race came out of that, giants. And then basically, supposedly I mean, the great flood, that they should have been destroyed in the great flood.
Didn't you say there was some scene in Iraq or somewhere like that in a cave?
Shoot, I never can think of that place. It's over there, Afghanistan, maybe, where we've been so long, the soldiers had an encounter with one, and it actually speared one of the soldiers, and then they killed it. And it chose that spear over all these other weapons, and because they went into the cave where it was at, and the cave was full of just skeletons, bodies, weapons where it killed other soldiers. And that was supposedly over, I think it was Afghanistan. And that you can research it. It's on YouTube, the story about it. And the soldiers that told, they swore that it really happened.
Yeah. And Tony's never heard your Bigfoot story, but Earl definitely has two of the best Bigfoot sightings that I've ever heard. So definitely tell Tony about your sightings. And one of them was at IGA and Happy, I believe, right?
Yep, that was the first one. And actually my next hunt that we're going to get out on, it'll be very close to that. Let's see if it's going to be on top of the mountain. But anyway, when the very first time I seen it, at that time I was driving a route truck for Frito-Lay, and my route was in Leslie County. And I looked up out the window. I'd leave the house around 3:30, 4 o'clock, because I could get in my first store around 5. And I looked outside. It was really snowing hard. And I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and get ready, because I'm going to have to leave early to account for, driving in that weather. When I come out of the shower, I looked outside again to see if it was still snowing. And I seen what I thought maybe was a person walking down the highway. And I thought, what in the world is somebody doing out this time of morning? And then the way it's really snowing so hard that, that why would he be out this time of morning anyway? And as it come on down, more down towards in front of that store, the way it was walking, I mean, it gave it away to me. It put you in mind of that Patterson footage, and I said, wow, I said, I can't believe I'm seeing this. And a vehicle came up the road, slowed down like they was going to stop and pick them up, shot the gas to it, and left. Another one came and done basically the same thing. So I know then that what I was looking at or seeing. And it just, then it disappeared. And when I said, well, when I get home this evening, the first thing I'm going to do is go over there and check for prints and all that kind of stuff. Well, it warmed up in the day up into the 40s, I think, and that snow melted. So, I don't know. But I know what I've seen. And that's actually probably what launched me into getting into it right there.
Like you was talking, Earl, like with the intelligence, they're probably smart enough to only get out when they know their tracks aren't going to be seen as much. I would imagine.
Well, the place that I'm getting ready to go do a hunt, the guy's built a home. It's up what you call Scuddy on top of the mountain, and he has got a home, and he said he's got 3 bay windows in the front of his house. They're 9 foot 6 inches off the ground, he said. And the windows has got smudge prints on them. Okay, in front of where he done his landscaping, he said there was footprints, and not shoe prints, footprints. He said the footprints measured 18 inches. And then he's heard hoops, knocks, everything. So I'm excited about getting up there. I'm sure we'll find something. I just know I'm going to.
That's what's the other story, Earl, encounter?
I was coming, I was still at that time I was driving, I was driving I was driving for Robinson's Meat Company. And I left Bateville and was coming through, heading to Slade and coming down 11 and down through there and coming through Natural Bridge Park, State Park. And one crossed the road in front of me. And if I could have got off the road anywhere, I'd have tried to get some footage. I could not get off the road. when I got to my next door, I mentioned it to them and they kind of laughed. And I said, well, I'm telling you, I seen it. And I said, it crossed the road right in front of me. Well, the next week when I came through there was all kinds of vehicles lined all through there on the other side of the road. When I got to that store, I asked them what was going on, and they said they was in there investigating. More people than me had seen. So they was in there investigating.
Earl, do you believe that there's multiple ones, or is this one? Or
Oh no, this would be, I would consider it just to be less like the human race. I mean, I think it's just like, they're just like is maybe not as numerous.
right?
I'm not saying that, but I'm going to say it would be, I would figure in the thousands. I mean, they reproduce and everything just like we do. And I just think that, well, I had a friend, another guy, he actually seen, at one time he seen 4, 2 larger ones and 2 smaller ones. So that would be considered what you would say a family unit. 4 of them he seen at one time. So probably it was a mom and a dad and 2 children. That's the way I look.
That would be when I wouldn't want to see them, because if the children are around, I couldn't imagine how mad they might would get.
Well, when he seen them, he was like at the end of his yard. It was just like, what would you call it? Like an overlook almost. You look down through the valley, and the power lines went down through there, and why they cut out for the power lines. And there was one tree out in that. He said it was a pine tree out in that. And he said it was probably 9 or 10 foot tall or close to that. And the 2 larger ones was pretty well that tall. And then there was 2 smaller ones. So that would have probably been a family unit.
Wow. That's amazing, man. I mean, in my opinion, I believe that it's a North American ape, but I mean, there is some intelligence there. You're right. I mean,
well, they're worldwide. I mean, there's different places like say for instance in Asia, and up in there they call it Yeti.
Yeah.
Or abominable snowman. They're white in color.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I believe they're different, just like the races of I mean, there's different kinds of dogs and stuff. That's what I believe as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be human. You never know. I mean, they're definitely the best camouflaged animal or whatever they are in the woods, because I mean, they're definitely the best at hiding, and they're quick as lightning.
Yeah, there is some that believe. Well, the Indians believe they're a spirit. So if that was true, and that's so, I mean, that would explain a lot. Okay, there's people that actually believe that they travel through time portals.
Yeah.
And all kinds of stuff. I mean, you can start really looking at different opinions and views on this stuff. I mean, it's mind blowing, some of it, because this one guy actually said that he believed it was basically like us. You had a bunch that was God fearing. You had a bunch that was evil, demonic, and then you had a bunch that was like in the middle that was, just like a layman or a worker that didn't belong really to either way. And some believes that. So, it's fascinating how this is.
Yeah, definitely awesome.
Especially about the portals and stuff.
Yeah.
That would explain a lot of things, if that was true about the portals. I mean, you see him 1 minute and then boom, he's gone. That could, if that's a portal he entered or whatever, I don't know. I have no belief one way or another about that. But now if that was possible, anything's possible.
For sure. And you're also are a UFO witness too around the lake. You seen one?
Yeah, I sure did.
I'm a UFO witness as well. I've seen a UFO too around the. The funny thing is, I live around the lake and seen it at my house, man. So, I mean, that's 2 and I know here that you Bubblegum's host Goose has seen one around the lake back in 1995, I believe. I mean, that's 3 sightings right there, UFOs.
Oh yeah, well, there's probably a lot more people. Like, I mean, we've talked about when they find out that you're not going to make fun of them, they'll open up to you and tell you
Yeah,
things.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of sightings that I've been told around the state of Kentucky that I can't say, but I've seen some. Never mind. I'm not going to say that on online. I'm not that stupid. I was about to say I've not seen anything.
Yeah.
I've not been sent nothing. I've not been sent nothing of UFOs. I've never seen a picture of a UFO either.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it's amazing.
Oh, Earl, have you been? Have you? I didn't mean to cut you off, but have you actually been sent pictures of Bigfoot before? That's a great because Don Neal, the Kentucky Bigfoot researcher, actually had pictures. Our first interview, he showed us pictures of Bigfoot that he's been sent, that the person allowed them to show.
Well, you know what? There was a man that was it was down in the below hazard down in let's see, I can't remember if he was at Bulin, but he worked at one of the groceries in Hazard. They said that he may have had some pictures. I never could get up with him to find out. But he had an encounter.
Is he still
And
alive?
yeah, I'm sure, but I don't, the one guy that I know that was a contact with him, if I ain't mistaken, he may have passed away. Then there's another guy.
Yeah, tell me that guy's name at the end of the interview, and I'll definitely try to get up with him. Some reason, man, I don't know why, but a lot of people. I mean, here lately, dude, I've been able to get a lot of yeses on interviews and stuff. I'm definitely appreciative of everybody that says yes. So,
Yeah,
man, I mean,
I don't know
I'm
that.
not trying to interview the guy. I just want to see the
Yeah, well,
pictures. And
I don't know his name. I just know that he was on. Uh, he had told them that he had an encounter and seen it. And when he first come out of the woods when he was hunting, it was near his pickup.
yeah,
And that's how he got but
uh,
I couldn't tell you his name. There was another in that very same area. There was another guy, and he was worked in. Actually, he worked in. I think it was West Liberty, but they was four-wheeling, and um, there was a tree had fell across the road where they was at, and they had it blocked them, so they was sitting there and just talking, and he said all of a sudden it was the loudest scream he had ever heard in his life, and he said I've heard mountain lion, bear, all these different animals scream. He said it wasn't nothing like I'd ever heard in my life. So, I mean, and it was in that same vicinity.
wow.
And actually do you know where the IGA is in Jackson?
Do you, Tony?
In that
It's
shopping
known as
center, it used to be a Winn-Dixie. It's in the shopping center when you first go into Jackson on this upper end from Hazard, going to Jackson into Jackson. It's on your
Walmart?
left. Yeah,
where
Walmart's
the
in that.
Walmart is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That shopping center, the store manager there at the IGA, he aggravated me all the time about Bigfoot. But, he was one of these non-believers. They come out one morning, he said, and was all of them was out there on that. They'd went in early and was working a truck or something, and they come out to smoke. And on that where that store is, it's got like a long porch type deal, and they was all standing there smoking, and they looked across the shopping center across on the other side of them businesses at the top of at the cliff, above the cliff. There was something he said that came out of the woods, just stood there and looked at them. The one of the boys that was with him, they supposedly recorded it. I don't know. But he said, I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to make fun of you no more. He said, I know what I seen. He said it just stood there and was looking at us, and then turned around, went back into the woods. And because he, like I said, he'd aggravate me about it all the time. And but he actually sent word. That's when I started up at Family Dollar, and he sent word by one of the guys that I used to work with, and wanted me to call him, and I called him, and he told me the story. He said, "I'll never make fun of you no more."
Oh, do you think that guy would be down to do an interview?
I kind of doubt it. I wouldn't think he would. He's kind of I mean, he's a good guy and stuff, but stuff like that. I mean, like I said, he's always a non-believer, but until he's seen it himself. But yeah, he wouldn't. I don't think he would do it. If I could get in touch with him, I'd ask him and see. But I don't really see him being like that.
They don't have to do interviews or anything. They can just tell me about it so I can just know about it, man, and not. I mean, the more side. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad. What did you say?
That's the most rewarding things is when people like that is, been a non-believer, and then all of a sudden they're turned into a believer.
Yeah, man. I mean, I kind of want to see Bigfoot, kind of don't either. I think I might poop my pants.
Yeah, that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
Tony, have you ever seen anything weird?
I haven't myself, but now I never was an outdoor person. I'm more of an air conditioning type of guy. But I do want to ask Earl about, like, and I know it's close to this region. I think it was in Virginia or West Virginia, the whole Mothman thing. You guys know anything about that?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Actually, I've had the Mothman. Have you heard of the Mothman Museum?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've not been there. I've heard of it.
I've had the dude that literally designs their costumes on.
At the museum?
Yeah, he did the costumes at the museum, the Mothman costumes. Okay. And just so everybody knows, Zoom cut out for a little bit. I don't know exactly what happened.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Earl, are you still there, man?
Yeah.
And his name is Andrew Betty. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
The only story that I know about the Mothman, when I was driving still with Robinsons on Mondays, I would go to London and pick up my load, and then I would usually drive or ride with one of the other drivers. And so I got to cover a lot of ground that way, going different parts of the state. We went into, I'm thinking it was maybe north of Lexington a little bit, because I ended up working that area. But anyway, we was in a store and we got talking about all this stuff. And supposedly this elder lady and her granddaughter went to the cemetery, went to a cemetery, and they was going to decorate. And supposedly this creature was sitting, it was a winged creature, and it was sitting up in a tree and was just looking at them. And it said it had glowing red eyes. It didn't bother them or anything. It was just there, sitting there looking at them. And then it just disappeared. It flew away. And so someone like that, like an elderly lady like that, and a young child like that, they ain't going to make something like that up. That's the only story that I know, of actually someone having an encounter with the Mothman.
Yeah.
But it exists. I believe it exists, just like Sasquatch, any of these things.
For sure, man. You guys should definitely watch the interview I did with Andrew Betty, because he tells us about the stories, and he has some good evidence of he's heard some good evidence from people and stuff, and he's he has some papers and stuff about some stuff. I ain't gonna say. Yeah. Oh, he said it in the interview, so you guys could. I'm not gonna say it because I mean.
Send me his name later. I'll check that one out for sure.
Oh yeah, I'll send you the link, dude. He had some witness, the original witness papers of people that the Man in Black visited.
Yeah, send me that link too, because I'd like to listen to it.
Yeah, he's gonna be back on actually the same week that the Mothman Festival is.
Wow.
On the podcast.
I've got some friends that's been up there to that museum and stuff. I've never been up there.
Yeah, dude, I've been to the museum too, and this guy literally designs the Mothman costumes there.
Wow.
Now with the Mothman, or Seth, is this a singular creature, or is there multiple, like Sasquatch or Bigfoot? Like, just a question, or would you all know or anything like that?
I've heard a lot of people say that it's like alien, possibly.
Yeah.
What about you, Earl?
I've heard that too.
Okay.
Possibly alien. If
I
you
mean,
look,
I
look in the
definitely
old photo
believe
book.
in. I'm sorry, guys.
Go ahead.
I definitely believe like aliens, Bigfoot, all this stuff, because there's been too many people that seen this stuff. But what I don't understand is why main news media tries to like drown this out and put it down. I mean, what's the secret? What are they not wanting to get out about these types of creatures is my question, really, I guess.
Well, to me, I think that all this stuff that these governments, not just this government, governments all over the world, they know about these things. They know it, they exist. Some of it I truly believe that it's been a result of experiments. Like, for instance, the dog man. I truly believe that has been as some kind of experiment gone wrong. I truly believe that. That creature is evil. And so I think that that's been some type of experiment and it just went wrong. I truly believe that.
And I know some people have seen some of my Facebook posts making fun of some people believing in dog man, but I don't know nothing about dog man. And actually, that was towards some people that have said that dog man has killed some people, that it's been proven that it was a pack of animals and stuff. So that was towards them people. That wasn't no disrespect towards anybody. And Earl is one of the, that was definitely no disrespect towards Earl, because Earl is one of the best cryptid people out there and one of the best Bigfoot researchers out there. And that was actually towards some podcasts. Other
Yeah.
podcasts.
Well, I mean, I told you about that, the one that I knowed about. The guy went on YouTube and was saying that he actually killed the creature and all that. And then, like we've talked about, that was just totally debunked, that there was no truth to that. So yeah, you got people out there that wants attention.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying Dogman couldn't be real. I mean, you never know with the government. I mean, they could possibly create a Dogman. Anything is possible with the technology
Well,
we got today.
I've always heard my entire life that they would like to have the perfect warrior, so to speak, the perfect warrior. So that being said, and this dogman creature, and I'm like you, I don't really know a lot about it. I don't know the lore behind it and all that. What I know of it, it's evil. So, and me thinking that along them lines, I'm thinking, well, they've always said that they would like to create the perfect warrior. Who's to say, I don't know. I don't know the lore behind all this. I am going to research this now. But anyway, who's to say that this may have been some kind of experiment, a government experiment or whatever, and it's just went wrong. It went wrong.
Yeah. I don't get the same feeling Bigfoot though. I don't think Bigfoot's
No,
evil.
Bigfoot, I don't. I just think Bigfoot is actually something, maybe they was a part of the human race at one time, and then they decided they didn't want to follow the rest of the human race, and they kind of went into their own little, into the woods and just kind of tried to disappear. I just think that they're more human than they are animal, and they're very intelligent. And I mean, I actually seen something I'd read or seen that back, and there was maybe possibly, and they call them tribes, that these Bigfoot tribes, that there would be at least one in every tribe that could communicate with humans. At
Wow.
least one that
Wow.
could actually talk with humans. And I'd love to meet the one that could talk.
I don't know if I would.
I'd just like to sit down and be able, because I mean, if you start reading all these tales that people tell about their encounters, and a lot of them is just like, well, let's see, there was a young, very young child was outside playing and it was on a farm, and he was out playing, and his grandfather was in all the way across on the other side of the pasture or whatever. And I don't know if he was gathering hay or he was doing something, and doing something pertaining to like that. And anyway, this bear comes charging this little boy out of the woods, comes charging him. He jumps up and starts running and is heading, trying to get to this tree to try to get up it to get away from this bear. And his grandfather sees it, and he stops what he's doing and turns the truck and starts racing towards the child, because he knows that bear is going to get that little child. Okay. All of a sudden, there is a Sasquatch comes out of the woods and basically levels that bear. I mean, kills it, hits it, breaks its neck. And then it just gets up. It kind of, the old man said he kind of picked the Sasquatch picked the little boy up and made sure he was okay, and then turned around and went back into the woods.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then, okay, so, but the thing about that was that farmer knowed that the Sasquatch was there on his property in them woods. He left apples for him and things like that all the time. So basically that Sasquatch repaid that man for his kindness, and it saved that little boy's life.
And ain't no old man or a little kid gonna make that story up either.
Oh, no way. Mm-mm. No.
Yeah,
So the question I was wondering about is, how do you think that they age? Like, like a human or older? Or
I think actually I kind of lean towards the belief that they may, live a little longer than us. I don't know. That would kind of be backwards thinking, I guess, because the way they have to survive, the way they live.
It would sustain the species, though, too, to be able to find each other for a longer time.
Yeah, that would kind of be, maybe would be debunked because the way they have to survive, but maybe their way of survival is better than us. They don't do the stuff that we do as far as smoking, drinking, all that kind of stuff. So who knows? They may have very long lives because they basically eat, they meats and berries and all that kind of stuff. They probably eat a lot healthier than what we do.
For sure.
So they may have very long lives. I mean,
that's a valid point.
I mean, you just start thinking about this stuff. I mean, you can come up with all kinds of scenarios. I mean, what could be possible with these creatures and everything. And I guess that's what keeps me just so wrapped up in it. I just love to talk about it.
It's definitely one of my favorite topics on the podcast, so everybody can tell, because I've had a lot of Bigfoot researchers on. I'm definitely excited about having Cliff Brockman on from Finding Bigfoot later in the fall. That was a show on Animal Planet, and
I want to talk to that man because I want to see. Because like I was telling you guys back, it was still when I was doing route work. And I went all over this. I had 13 counties I covered. I'd go down around Badeville down in there, and there was a member, one of the stores that I went to, and it was at the mouth of, it was outside of Badeville, and it's called St. Helens. It was at the mouth of St. Helens. And I actually went there, me and a buddy of mine went up there and did a hunt. Up there, this place they killed hogs and did different things. They made meat skins, they made homemade butter, they did a lot of stuff. And that home and on that property, there was an Indian burial ground. And so they had a little bit of everything. They had spirits. She said, the lady would say, she said Sasquatch would come in their yard all the time, pick fruit. They had apple trees and stuff. It'd help itself. So me and a buddy of mine went up there to do a hunt. And we went the wrong way, because she said we could get down and get close to the river creek or whatever, the bank. and it was sandy and stuff. She said, there's prints all through there. You'll find all kinds of prints and stuff.
Where's
Well,
that at?
It was outside of Badeville.
Oh yeah.
It's called St. Helens. We went up there, but we went the wrong direction because it forked, and we went the other way. But the way we went, we did see structures and stuff. So it's there. And then that's how I got to know. Well, I talked to him once on the phone. I never did. I can't remember his name, but he was a member of Bigfoot Research Organization. And he said that they wanted me to come on that show, that Finding Bigfoot show. And that's when they came to Kentucky, and then they had the town hall meeting kind of thing at Renfro Valley. And they wanted me to come, but I couldn't get away. And I'd like to talk to him because there was someone that come into my store. It's been about a month or so back. And he said that he thought that they was trying to get in touch with me again, wanted me to come on that show.
You talking about the Bigfoot expedition show? Because I think Finding Bigfoot is off air right now.
Yeah, it was the one. It's the one with Bobo and them on it. It's that one.
Oh, that's Hunting Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I mean, Finding Bigfoot. My bad. That's Finding Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm having Cliff on from that show. Yeah, man, which is definitely gonna be an honor for sure. And man, I'll have you on too if you're free and stuff, and hopefully you are free. I know with your job, it's hard to know.
Yeah, because I'd like to ask. I mean, I'd like to get to talk to Don some more too, because there was a lady. Some lady was high up in that Bigfoot Research Organization. They asked me. They wanted me to come and speak at. It's called Turkey Foot or Turkey Creek or something like that. It's in Jackson County, and they was going to waive all my costs if I just come and talk. And I got so many tales to tell. I mean, like I've said before, I'm just a novice. I've not got I don't have any equipment or anything like that.
Everybody's a novice, though, man. That's what Don said. He said there is no experts at the stuff. And I agree. There ain't no experts when it comes to this stuff. Just because somebody's on TV doesn't make them an expert.
Right. I can just share so many tales that people's told me, and I could probably write 2 or 3 books about it. I got so many
You
tales.
definitely should, for sure.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and when, like we've said, when people find out that you're not going to make fun of them, they'll open up to you. And actually, like that at that store I was telling you there at the mouth of that St. Helens, the lady there, she had an encounter there at their home, and she said she'd took her little dog outside to let it pee or whatever, and she said out at the edge of the woods, she said it was the awfulest scream ever was, and it scared her, of course. She got to grab the little dog, and they went back into the house. Well, the guy that got in touch with me, they said they wanted me to come on to that, that show. He lived directly on the other side of the woods from her. He said he's seen it numerous times in between there. And that we had to be where we done our hunt. We would have been close to that area. And he said he's seen it when he was hunting and stuff. He's seen it all the time. He said it never did offer to bother me or anything. He said it was just like, it was there, just kind of observing me, is the way he put it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And definitely appreciate you being on again. And Tony, do you want to perform another song for us? And also tell us about the virtual concert coming up August the 24th at 8 p.m. And how you get a ticket is subscribe to Tony's Patreon for $1, or subscribe to Steven's Patreon once he gets it up, or Malcolm's Patreon once he gets it up for $1 a month, and subscribe to my Patreon for $1 a month. It's basically $2 a ticket. That's a steal, and we got a heck of a lineup, and a heck of a headliner in Tony, man. And it's gonna be a heck of a show. $2 a ticket. And the ticket is the link to the Zoom room. $2 for a ticket, man. And you're getting another taste of what the concert is going to be like, with especially the headliner. But he's going to be singing an hour-long set for the virtual concert. the virtual Zoom concert at 8 p.m. August the 24th. What are you gonna sing the song right now that has 8,000 views on YouTube?
Yeah, I can do that song.
And tell the people what the name
We'll
of
go
the
ahead and
song
do
is
that.
and stuff.
This song is Last Kiss Goodnight, and this is my debut song. I'll go ahead and start playing it here. Don't walk away, man, baby. Come back with a smile. Saw what I said. Everything I did, I've been regretting for a while. Don't you know that I love you, baby? You're the best I ever had. Oh, woman, don't you know? As soon as you walk out that door, this man will be so sad. Don't let it be the last kiss goodnight. I'll be wondering where you've been. Day after day, night after night, time and time again. Don't let it be the last kiss goodnight. Are you still dancing in the dark? I've been wondering where you're going. Baby, wonder what you're doing. I'll be wondering where you are. Don't you know you're my obsession, girl? That face, those lips, and what you say. If I can't have you, I don't wanna live, Lord. I'd be better off dead. Oh, woman, don't you know you're always on my mind, and you will be for the rest of my life. Don't let it be the last kiss goodnight. Girl, you mean so much to me. If I can't have you, oh, can't you see I had no destiny? Don't let it be the last kiss goodnight. I wanna see that sun shine so bright. Yeah, in the morning when you wake up next to me and you open your eyes. Don't let it be the last kiss goodnight. Still wondering where you've been. Day after day, night after night, time and time again.
Thank you, man. That was absolutely killer. And everybody should definitely subscribe to Tony's Patreon for $1 a month and my Patreon as well for $1 a month, so you can get a ticket to the show. I mean, $2 for a ticket's a steal. And Earl, what did you think about the performance?
That was very good.
Thank you, Earl. Thank you.
You're welcome. I love music.
I love talking to you. I loved hearing those stories. They were great.
Thanks.
Yeah, man, definitely want to thank. Oh yeah, man. What'd you say, Tony? My bad.
Oh, I was going to say good luck to Earl in his future endeavors on this. I hope something comes to fruition with everything.
Yeah, well, when I get, like I said, when I get to get myself freed up, when I got some more free time, and I'll probably be going full blast into it.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about maybe doing a weekly Bigfoot podcast? That'd be interesting hearing you do that.
Well, I ain't too technically smart like this right here, where I can get on and just talk about it. I really enjoy doing that. And
Yeah, we can do that, man. Maybe after you start when you retire, me and you can do a weekly Bigfoot show.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that because that give me, I mean, just getting more people on board as far as believing. I mean, it's something,
And you get to talk to people like Cliff Brockman, one of the most respected Bigfoot researchers in the whole entire world.
yeah, yeah. I can't wait till he gets on there.
He'll
Looking
be on
forward to that.
probably October. I'll have to. I'm supposed to email him after Labor Day
Right, right. Okay.
because he's been real busy filming and stuff.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, definitely want to thank Earl for doing the interview. Want to thank Tony for co-hosting and singing. Y'all have a good night and God bless.